Every car dealership in America hides the same small room. No windows, one desk, and a smiling guy in a button-down shirt, offering you coffee. And, within the next 45 minutes, that man will pull more profit out of your wallet than the salesperson pulled out of the entire vehicle. $2,500 per car. That is what the average dealership pocketed in pure profit inside that single room, according to the Q4 2024 Haig Report, which almost matches what they earned selling you the actual vehicle. The industry calls it the F&I Office, short for finance and insurance, and the man behind that desk has been trained to get you nodding. Yes, before your brain catches up to what your hand is signing. Today, I'm walking you through 5 things finance managers genuinely don't want you figuring out. And number 4, cost a Maryland buyer with perfect credit an extra $24,000 on a Toyota Camry. So stick around. Here is where we start. Number 1. The interest rate printed on your car loan is almost never the real rate the bank approved you for. When the finance manager runs your credit, the lender returns something called a buy rate, which represents the actual rate they're willing to lend at. And let's say that number lands at 6%. The dealership is allowed to mark that rate up, pocket the difference, and never breathe a word of it to you. Dealer reserve is the industry term, capped by most lenders at 1 to 2 percentage points, which sounds harmless until you run the math on a $35,000 loan, stretched over 6 years, where a 2% bump quietly transfers roughly $2,400 out of your pocket and into the dealership's account. None of this is conspiracy talk. December of 2013 is when Ally Financial cut a $98 million settlement, check to the CFPB and the Department of Justice, after federal investigators determined that markups had overcharged roughly 235,000 minority borrowers. Yale economist Ian Ayres put it bluntly to Consumer Reports. Quote, "I've seen a surprising number of consumers with excellent credit who are nonetheless written into subprime loans with high APRs. Translation, your credit score alone will not protect you, but knowing the game does. The move here is simple. Walk in holding a pre-approval from your credit union, and the second you slide that competing rate sheet across the desk, the finance manager's leverage evaporates. Number 2. The extended warranty he is about to pitch you carries the highest margin of any product inside the building. Industry data pegs dealer markups on vehicle service. Contracts are anywhere from 30 to 200% over what the dealership actually paid. And Edmunds tells consumers straight up to estimate the dealer's real cost and offer $100 to $200 above it. That $3,500 warranty, sitting on the menu in front of you, probably cost the store around $1,200 to $1,500. And everything beyond that splits between the dealership and the finance manager's commission check. Here is the part they really don't want you absorbing. You are under zero obligation to buy that warranty the day you buy the car, and you are under zero obligation to buy it from them at all, because a comparable service contract is available from your credit union, the manufacturer directly, or a reputable third party, usually months later and almost always at a lower price. That this offer is only good today, line you'll hear in the office. It is a sales script, not a fact. Number 3. The second you start negotiating in monthly payments, the deal is already lost. Payment packing is the tactic the FTC has spent years chasing. The finance manager asks what monthly payment you're comfortable with. You tell him $550. He disappears for 10 minutes and returns grinning that he got you to $549. What he leaves out is that he stretched the loan from 60 months to 84, slipped in gap insurance, layered on a service contract, and added paint protection. All of it hidden inside that single monthly number you fixated on, 850. 8,000 auto loans were analyzed by Consumer Reports in 2022, and the data showed roughly 1 in 4 American borrowers spending more than 10% of their income on car payments, which lending experts identify as the danger zone. Among subprime borrowers, that figure climbed to 48%. The FTC tried to outlaw the practice with something called the CARS rule, finalized in January of 2024, and dealer trade groups immediately sued, with the Fifth Circuit striking the rule down in January of 2025. As of 2026, no federal protection against payment packing exists, which means you are on your own. The fix here is the same one professional buyers have leaned on for decades. Never negotiate monthly payments. Always negotiate the out-the-door price. And if the finance manager refuses to put that single number in writing, walk out. Number 4. Gap insurance. This is the one I promised you at the top. Gap, short for Guaranteed Asset Protection, covers the gap between what you owe on the loan and what your insurance pays out if the car gets totaled, and the product itself is legitimate. The price tag is where the problem lives. $700 to $1,000 is what the average dealership charges for Gap, almost always financed into your loan, while your credit union or existing auto insurer will sell you the same coverage for $200 to $300 total, or sometimes just $20 to $40 a year added to your existing policy. That is a markup of 300 to 400% on a product that cost the dealership almost nothing to provide. Here is the part that should make you genuinely angry. Gap coverage is refundable, which means if you pay off your loan early, sell the car, or refinance, you are owed a prorated refund of the unused portion. And the dealership is not going to call and remind you. Remember the Maryland buyer I mentioned at the top of the video. Consumer Reports documented her case in detail. A 2018 Toyota Camry financed at 19% APR, despite sterling credit. And by the time that loan finishes in late 2025, she will have handed over roughly $59,000 for a car worth less than half that number. Number 5. Not every fee printed on your contract is a real fee. Sales tax is real, title and registration are real, but the documentation fee has almost nothing to do with actually documenting anything, and it functions as a pure state-by-state cash grab. $85 is what California caps the doc fee at by law. New York caps it at $75, and Florida has no cap at all, which is why the average Florida doc fee hovers around $1,000. With certain dealers, they're charging $1,298 for the same paperwork a California dealer handles for $85. Then come the supplemental sticker items. Nitrogen-filled tires, VIN etching, wheel locks, paint, and fabric protection. Edmunds once documented a single supplemental sticker, tacking on $607 of pure markup for items that cost the dealership next to nothing. Because nitrogen in your tires is regular air with a green cap, and VIN etching is a stencil and a bottle of acid that runs the dealer about $3. Before you put pen to paper, ask for an itemized out-the-door price. In writing, read every line, cross out anything you never agreed to. And if the dealer refuses to remove those items, that single moment tells you everything you need to know about the dealership you're standing in. Dealerships aren't evil. They are businesses. Their job is to maximize profit, and your job is to make sure you aren't the customer they maximize it on. 5 things we walk through: the rate markup, the warranty margin, the payment packing trick, the gap overcharge, and the junk fees. None of those are loopholes hiding inside the system, because they are the entire business model of the F&I office. The average American walks into that small room emotionally drained and signs whatever gets slid in front of them, while the prepared American walks in with a pre-approval, a calculator, and the willingness to leave. And that single difference separates the customer paying $2,500 in F&I profit from the customer paying nothing. Federal protection here is moving in the wrong direction. The CFPB has been deprioritized. The CARS rule got vacated, and state laws look like a patchwork quilt depending on where you live, which means nobody is coming to save you from a bad car deal. If anything I covered today saves you even a few $100s, the next time you walk into a dealership, hit subscribe. Drop a comment about the worst F&I experience you've ever survived. And I'll catch you on the next one. Drive safe out there, and never sign anything you haven't read at least twice.